For many reasons, Dubai has, by default, become quite a major hub for not only businesses operating in the Middle East, but also businesses looking at Africa. You know, there's a joke that I share with people that Dubai is the cleanest Indian city and the busiest African airport, right? Decision makers out of Dubai-based businesses to come and hear the AFC story. What's the end game? Well, the end game is firstly, obviously, to get to know each other, which is always a good, useful start. But more importantly, for Dubai-based businesses, particularly those ones who are in the sectors that AFC specializes in, to see for themselves, first, that an organization like AFC exists. Secondly, it's a proven organization. It's not coming with a promise. It's actually coming with real life case studies of how things have been done. And hopefully, therefore, Dubai-based organizations out of this morning's session will see that in AFC, they probably have a very, very strong partner that they can work with in Africa.
About project development. Andrew talked about the fact that the irony of Africa today is that at a macro level,
the Middle East historically has had some very strong ties with Africa. Middle Eastern players, both on the financing side and on the operating side, also have some familiarity with Africa, particularly obviously North Africa and some of the African countries on the Red Sea. And so, you know, the interest in sort of moving further into sub-Saharan Africa is there and is obvious, especially since many of the countries in the Middle East are, you know, relatively small from a geographical or population point of view and need to deploy capital, need to deploy their expertise in other places. To be frank, competition is less in Africa and you can often make higher returns.
Other services to our portfolio companies around currency hedges, interest rate swaps, so on and so on.
Although similar, they don't have the historical linkages that the Middle East do, but they do see Africa as a growing market, as somewhere that has a lot of potential, but also somewhere that they're unfamiliar with, don't really quite understand, and often don't know how to access. And you know, that's one of the roles that AFC has, which is to sort of act as a kind of stepping stone for some of these people to come into Africa, either sort of by bringing them projects that they can invest in, or by working as a partner to help them develop projects that they may be interested in themselves.
You know, normally partners in Big Fours don't leave Big Fours because it's kind of nice. And a lot of people had asked me, why did I contemplate leaving and why did I eventually leave? And I'm just going to tell you this very simple fact, and that is that I, having operated in Africa for many years, saw AFC start.
Okay, for the AFC is very strong in financing and project development and supplement the international players who do not have the expertise or market knowledge in Africa. So I do recommend the international players to partner with the AFC.
And with our sort of liquidity, we can actually work very effectively with your own clients. And that's the trade finance proposition that we bring.